In this video, I'll be showing you some fun ideas using the square punch. Here's an example of the page that we're going to do, and this is using the Celebrations collection, but in the instructions, I'm going to show you how to use it with the Sweet on You collection. Stay tuned for bonus features at the end. The first thing that you'll want to do is add 2 pieces of 12 by 12 designer paper onto your double page spread. This is going to be our base layout. Our third refill page is going to go in the middle of these 2 pages, but for now, let's just work on getting our base pages ready. Okay, next we're going to get our 12-inch trimmer and we're going to cut 2 designer pieces of paper at 2 inches. So we want a 10 by 12 and a 2 by 12 piece. So we'll just put this over here at 10. And I'm doing 2 sheets of paper at a time. And we'll go ahead and cut 2 inches off. You're going to save these for our next step. But for now, we're going to put these on the sides of our page. You're just going to put the 12-inch by 2-inch border along the edges of this page spread, right up to the jeeping strip. Next, we're going to cut the middle piece, and just make sure if it has a pattern on it that you want to make sure it's either vertical or horizontal. So I'm going to cut 2 horizontal pieces, which I'll just cut this in half at 6 inches. And that way my hearts are going in the correct direction. They're not like this sideways, they're going to be across the page. So we're going to cut it at 6 inches and 10 inches in length. If you move your page over on your mat, you'll be able to see your measurements, and then we can put this right in the middle where the 9 and the 3 inches are. Okay, now we're going to just set this one aside and get your third white refill page, and you'll need your square punch. What we're going to do is we're going to put our page directly into the square punch, and we're going to put our finger right here at the end so that we're feeling the edge of your paper. So you just stop when you can feel the edge of your paper right here. And you're going to punch down. Make sure that the jeeping is all the way inside of your punch. We're just going to pull the square punch down so that you can feel with your finger this edge of the opening with the edge of your square punch. So once you have that in place, punch again and just go all the way down on your page until you get to the bottom. Okay. This is the piece left over from when you cut out the 12-inch border, and you can just adhere it to this page. And we're going to turn it over and do the same thing on the back with that other piece of paper that you had. Now go ahead and put your double page spread back with your mats so that when you have this page in the middle, you'll be able to see the paper from the second page, peeking through this page. And again on this side. We'll just start on the left-hand side, and you use this as a guide. You can use foam squares if you want as well. I printed 2 pictures on one photo using Project Life app, and then I used my Canon Selfie to print this. You can also send it to any developer, but this helps if your pictures are pretty large. So this one was really large, and I wanted to be able to have it fit in my square punch. And so if you put 2 pictures on one picture, then you'll be able to do that a little bit better. So if you can turn your square punch upside down, you'll be able to see exactly where your picture is going to punch out. So that's great. So I know it's going to go there. And then I can do the same here. Now, if it doesn't reach, let's say that you want to punch out, well, that actually looks really good. But if I wanted to punch out this side, and it's not quite punching out how I want it, that actually looks pretty good too. But let's see, let me give it another example. Okay, this one. So if you're trying to punch him out, obviously you're gonna cut off his face. So what you need to do is you need to trim this photo probably about right here. So we'll go ahead and do that. So this photo was like this, and I trimmed this piece off. This way I can get it into my square punch and really center that cute face. So that's how you can really get an exact photo where you want it. So let me continue doing these. I'm gonna punch this cutie out. Okay, once you have your pieces in place, then you'll want to go ahead and adhere them down. I did that one already. Go. We're going to carefully lift this up. There. So now we have this really sweet border, and when you turn this page, when you have your page protector on, these are going to peek through. So we'll do the same on this side. Carefully lift that up. Okay, so you got this and this. Now let's finish this off. We'll put a 12-inch border on here. Let's use the rhythm blade. Just take out your straight blade, put in the rhythm blade. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this paper because it kind of ties in this. And we'll put it at 1/2 inch mark. And then flip the paper over and do the same on this side. That way you have a straight edge and you have the cool rhythm design. And you're going to want it as close as possible almost covering up the edges of that. So it gives the illusion that it's on the same page. Make sure it's a little straight. And you don't want to have the sticky stuff touching because you don't want your pages to stick together. Although you will have a page protector over this, so it's really not going to matter. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. But what I fixed is you put the border strip down here, and then you flip this over, and then you put the second border strip along here. So that way it looks like a full page. You don't have that white strip showing. Okay, now we can add some photos in the middle. And because this is 6 inches, you'll want to cut your photos down a little bit. So we'll just use this trimmer here. Make it to be about 5 1/4. I'm going to cut another 6 by 8 strip for the other page. I think that will look good. You can put a little title there. And some journaling strips. You can cut the journaling strips so that they're not all the same size. And then on this side, you can add a photo that's the larger photo of the little mini photo that you did. So this is just like a cute little snapshot, and then this is him in the whole car. It's kind of fun. And the ones that you punched out, you can still use those photos. Just trim off the part that is punched. You can do something like that. And you can also mount the photos if you want to have some, maybe pull some red, do some red underneath. That'd be pretty. Or whatever coordinating cardstock that you have that goes with the collections that you're using. I'm going to use this leftover piece right here. And this is a little busy for me, and it's about 5 inches. So I think if we did about a 4-inch journaling paper, that would look really good. Of course, you can also fill it with more photos. If you've got a lot more photos, you can do that. And then we'll go about, I mean, you can really tell the story. You know, where are the pups? How old are the pups? Who owns the pups? What are the pups' favorite things to do? There's so many things that you could journal about. So I went ahead and did it at 9 inches. So that is 4 by 9. Now I've got this, so I can do this at about 4 1/4 by 9 1/4. Hopefully I got those measurements right. I tend to eye things and not be super specific, so we'll see. Yeah, that works. Nice. Now you could do a cluster of stickers down here. Maybe I'll just add a little bit. Oh, there we go. I'll just do a little bit of my embellishments on here. These are the finished pages, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you put the page protectors on. There's a lot of glare, so I just wanted to show you kind of what it looks like without the page protector. And then I'll show you with the page protectors. And this is what it looks like with the page protectors on. And it does kind of give that window effect because it's got the reflective page protector. So I just think that looks nice. It's got its own page spread. And then when you turn this page, now you're gonna have a whole different look because these photos are peeking through. And when it's in your book, I just think it's just a fun, interactive way to do your pages. Here's another example of the square punch windows layout, but using the Celebrations collection. Here's a few bonus ideas using the square punch. This is one of my #1 tools I like to use. And you can just punch out. I'll just put the edge of the paper right here at the edge of here and just make sure that your paper is aligned all the way to the back. And you just punch. It's super easy to punch. You don't have to use a lot of effort. And then it just gives you a fun little square. And then it also pops out a square that you can use on your layout. But another fun idea for this tool is when you punch out the next one, you're just gonna put your finger at the edge of the punch and slide the punch down so that you can feel where the edge of the paper is. And then go ahead and punch. And then do the same thing. You're just gonna slide your punch down until you can feel that edge. Punch. Come down, another one. Feel where the edge of your paper is at the bottom of this opening. Punch, and then you have one more. You do the same thing, where you go all the way down where you're feeling where the edge of the paper is. And you punch. And now you're gonna have this fun kind of film strip border. You can use your 12-inch trimmer, and it's just a little bigger than 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just gonna go a little bit further than that, because it's just a little bit bigger. You'll notice that the bottom is a little bit long, or the top was a little bit wider, and so I just want to cut a little bit of that off. So put it about right here. There we go. So this would be cute on the side of a page, like that. And then you can get your photos and you can cut out, I don't want all this background. I don't need him, and it's not a very good picture of him, but I would love to get a picture of them. So in order to do that, you can turn your punch upside down and slide this in, and then you'll be able to see them. Now, if you need to get closer, see I'm cutting her off, then I can just trim this photo. Now I can go in and punch, and then I have all this excess that I don't need, and I can stick them in one of the little squares. You have several pictures, you could do a series. So now these photos that weren't necessarily great, just make a really nice border. And I should actually do something like this. And then I could put stickers in here, or I could do some journaling in here, and that would be just a really fun edge for your page. A different idea for borders is using the punches that punched out, and you can just layer them like this. You can go a little bit off of your page. Okay, so then what you'll do after you adhere them is you can just trim off this little excess right here. Then you just grab a sticker pack. Let's grab this one. You're gonna just do a cute little cluster of stickers. And then you could also do the same thing where you put pictures in here on these other ones, or you can do smaller squares of patterned paper. That'd be cute. So for these squares, you just wanna trim them down 1/2 inch. So they're 1 3/4, so you just do 1 1/2. You can even use the leftover bits as a fun little edge. I can't wait to see what you create. Happy scrapping!